Hey there, fourth graders. This is your first unit test. This is for unit one. And I'm just going to briefly go over what kind of things you need to remember. And I'm going to kind of be flipping back and forth because there's a couple pages that are different in Miss N's that are from yours, but the idea is pretty much the same. So like always, you have a score here on the right-hand side. It says unit one assessment. If you look, it says part one, part two, part three. Every day you're going to take a part, do the 10 questions, we'll assess it. Really, what you're going to do for the most part is take your time on the written part, so that will take you a little bit longer. Excuse me. So if you look at this, we'll do one at a time. So let's do what all good readers do. Remember, the idea is we just want to be the best. We spent 5 weeks really practicing a lot of skills and trying to hit our targets. And so now you're going to showcase what you've remembered and what you're able to do. So your first story is communicating coast to coast. And right away I look through it, I see a heading, traveling to the west. Then I see a map and I say, wow, my purpose here is probably to find something that's probably nonfiction, because a map of the United States isn't a made up story. Could be historical fiction, I guess you never know, right? But the idea is, I know my purpose is I'm probably going to have to find specific facts, correct? Now I'm going to also switch to another page because Ms. Sabowski's page is a little bit different. So then if you turn your page, you can also see it says carrying the mail is another heading, connecting east and west. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to want to do is look at the questions that I have. Also, to let you know, you probably weren't aware, but we also have a thing called bubble sheets. Oh, that's not the bubble sheet I want you to look at, actually. Let Ms. Nabowski get it out here a second for you. Hang on. All right, this is the bubble sheet that actually you're going to be doing while you're doing your test. The reason is we're going to give you separate little sheets because we know that the constructive response is going to take some time. And we really want to have all that information fresh in your head. So what we thought about is, what if we create a little mini bubble sheet for your answers? And what we're going to ask you to do is, each story will have a bubble sheet and you'll have these separated. Like, so you have 3 stories for your test this week: communicating coast to coast, Theodore Judah and the Road West, the Kitchen Boy and the Prince. So your first story is communicating coast to coast. So as you go through these, you're going to answer A, B, C, or D, F, G, H, or I, just like you do normally every week. Now, numbers 3 and 10 are constructed responses. They're going to take you a little longer. So what we're saying is, for the multiple choice questions, what we're going to do is have you put your name on it, and you're going to hand this in. So really, you're only going to answer 8 out of the 10 constructed or selected responses. That way you can continue to focus on your constructed response. So yes, you should still circle them in your packet. You'll need to do both. But if you want to go through and just do them on the slip first, and you actually just hand in the slips, and then you go back and do your constructed responses. Does that make sense? So first you're going to read the questions, you're going to read the passage, you're going to answer the questions, the multiple choice. Then you can go back and then do the written response. That way you're not handing in your whole packet and you have to wait and your memory might get lost. And remember, take your time. You have this whole time for reading to finish that. So let's go back and continue. Let's look at the questions that we have to look at. So if you look at your packet, let's read number 1 and take any extra notes. A lot of notes are taken for you. It says the author compares and contrasts the Pony Express and Telegraph to show the reader A, how technology changed over time, B, the difference in how much each cost, C, why people preferred to use the telegraph, or did he show us, the reader, that the telegraph was easier way to communicate? So remember, when we're looking for main idea, we're looking with the most important thing that we'd leave our house with. What's the one thing we'd take with that we'd remember? Number 2, what is the main idea of the article? Okay, this is where we're coming back from. There were many things to go west during the gold rush. The main idea is ways to communicate became faster after 1850. H, it took a long time for news to travel west in 1850. Or I, the telegraph put an end to the Pony Express. So you can see 3 is your first little mini constructed response. It says, explain why Morse's telegraph was a revolutionary change. Support your answer with clear text evidence from the article. Use your prove it. So first thing, I would probably use a stem, right? Why Morse's telegraph was a revolutionary change. I'd probably start my sentence, Morse's telegraph was a revolutionary change because. And you go back to your article and you get evidence according to the text. Our author stated, under the heading, this is what it said. Okay? All right. I have to go back to another screen to get the questions. Let me pause here for a minute. Wait, right here. Here we go. All right, so we have number 4. His inventive mind got right to work. Morse soon had a working model of a telegraph. If invent means to create something for the first time, what does inventive mean? Having the ability to invent, someone who invents, the act of inventing, or being invented. Number 5, which was the fastest way to send information from St. Louis to California during the late 1850s? Clipper ship, stagecoach, Pony Express, covered wagon. Number 6, this led to the end of the Pony Express because even the fastest horses were no match for the telegraph. Which meaning of match is the same one used in the sentence above? A narrow strip of wood or cardboard used to light a fire, a person viewed as a possible marriage partner, a thing that is equal in quality or strength, a pair of things that appear to be alike. Number 7, read these sentences from the article. Those who had made fun of him were convinced. They regretted having ridiculed him. What does ridiculed mean in the sentences above? Punished, instructed, agreed with, made fun of. Number 8, what information can you find in the article under the heading Connecting West? Ways to travel to California, how the telegraph was built, how the Pony Express worked, reasons for moving to California. Number 9, according to the article, how did Morse convince Congress that the telegraph was a good idea? A, he explained his plan to them. Wires from east and west were joined. He sent a message from one city to another. Or D, he used a special code for sending messages. So after you've gotten done with your bubble sheet, remember, I'll show you a better copy of that one. You're going to do communicating coast to coast. So you just do that one, okay? Then you're going to come back and you're going to do number 10, your constructed response. This is going to take you a while. That's why we want you to get your little strip and hand that in. So let's look at the constructed response when you're ready. And you can, like always, go back and view the video if you need some help. Explain how the author uses cause and effect to help the reader understand how communication changed over time. Because of this is with the effect. So think about cause and effect that way. Because this happened, this was the effect. So give us examples of cause and effect. Support your answer with clear text evidence from the article. Use your prove it. So remember, think about everything you do. You have to indent. You have to have a topic sentence, complete sentences. Spelling, basic words need to be spelled correctly, especially if you use copy from your text. They should be spelled correctly. Capitals and punctuation, ending sentence. Also, at the bottom, what we did was we made a graphic organizer. So you want to pick a cause and effect. Because this happened, this is with the effect. I bought an ice cream cone. I went outside and it started dripping on my hands. Well, what caused it? Oh, the sun shining. It was warm. Or I walked outside and because the sun was so hot, it melted my ice cream. Okay, the cause would be the sun was hot. The effect was it melted my ice cream. So what you want to do first is try to find 3 causes and effects. And you can use the back as needed. Okay, So then what you're going to do when you do that, you have to do the graphic organizer first. Now, while you're reading, if you find a cause and effect because you jot it, absolutely, that would be fine. But remember, you will be graded on, did you indent? Do you have a topic sentence? All of that. All we have to say is, according to the text, the author stated. All right, so now you're ready to go back. And what you need to do is you're going to go back and start your article, which says communicating coast to coast. If you have any questions, let us know. Good luck. You can do it.